No need for 13 seconds. No need for a minute and a half. Doesn't matter. Bills win that big game in Kansas City. So today is a happy Monday on this side of the studio.
Yeah, wait, how long did it take them to kick that field goal at the end of the half?
I was worried. Like, every second in this freaking series matters between these two. Every millisecond matters. Yeah. But ultimately, it was Mahomes that makes the mistake. Yeah. He got baited into an interception at the end of the game.
There was about a minute left, right? 55 seconds. What was your mental state in that situation? It's 24-20. Patrick Mahomes has the ball. There's about a minute left in the game. Did you have any confidence?
I was under the chair, confidence.
Yes, of course you were.
I came in the studio and go, I'm not going to make it through the season. I'm not going to make it. Yeah. But that was a really great win for the Bills. They actually did not play that great throughout the first, I would say, 2.5 quarters of that game, but ultimately put together a really nice drive. And then Von Miller with a really nice play towards the end of the game that sort of flushed out Patrick Mahomes and forced him into the interception. I mean, honestly, like, Josh Allen and hurdling defenders is going to get a lot of the attention, as it should. But there were a lot more things on display for the Bills yesterday. But the question isn't just about Buffalo today. It's about your team, the Eagles, too. And it's about which team is the best one in football. Because if I asked you who's the best team in football, and then I asked you who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl, those are actually two different questions, right? You watch the Bills and the Chiefs play each other in the way they do. Who knows, like, when the playoffs come, if these two teams meet, who knows what's going to happen? I could think the Bills are the best team in football, and I do, but I think your Eagles are going to be the team that's in the Super Bowl because of how complete they are as a team, how fluid and easy the offense can move, and because, let's face it, the NFC has been laying stink bomb after stink bomb week after week. Perloff, your Eagles are sitting pretty.
Wow, I don't see it that way at all. I feel like the Bills are a team of destiny right now. They didn't even, as you said, they didn't even play a perfect game and won at Arrowhead. So their chief competition in the AFC is the Chiefs. Yeah. The Chiefs are obviously not the Chiefs that we know and love. Are they just a little bit off without Tyreek Hill? Did they scare you last night?
I thought they were good yesterday. They had their defense had a solid game plan against Josh Allen. They were forcing pressure. I mean, the Bills couldn't complete short yardage. It's like it's easier for them to get 30 yards on a play than it is to get 2.
That's funny. I came away from that game and said to myself, wow, if they play again, the Bills are going to run up the score on them. I felt like the Bills were a much stronger team. Played a flawed game on the road. That game's in Buffalo. Of course, it never really works out the way I'm saying right now. Obviously. But I felt like the Bills left some points on the board, obviously. Yeah. So did the Chiefs, as a matter of fact. But I felt like they were a much stronger team. Now, the Chiefs' defense is still pretty bad. I know
up front they weren't yesterday. They were able to get pressure.
In general, their secondary is flawed, so they can't get a lead and run the ball. So that means Mahomes has to do everything. That's what I mean by the Chiefs are flawed. So I think the Bills are the team of destiny. The Eagles, I'm not there yet. Do they really feel like the Bills have been building to this moment? They lost a tough playoff game last year. You just feel like it's a matter of time. I don't feel that way with the Eagles. Do you feel that way?
I think they're much better than even anyone expected.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely much better. I think it's a credit that they were in the Super Bowl in 2018 and now are back. And I know there's a couple guys who are the same, but it kind of feels like a pretty different team.
Well, yeah, you got like Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, but generally it's
Lane Johnson.
And Lane Johnson,
who's obviously a really big key. On the offensive line, but I feel like it's actually a very different team. You got a new coach, you got a new quarterback, you've got a whole new secondary. I mean, the Eagles, to me, it's hard to find the flaw.
Well, here's the big question mark, though. Who have they beaten? They beat Cooper Rush. The Cinderella thing ended with Cooper Rush. They had just
Should we pour one out for Cooper Rush for a second? I mean,
I know. His wife was
back into the game, kind of, but it's the defense, like it's been this whole time.
Yeah, he was a great story, and I love it. Story. And he did a really good job. In fact, I think he could win football games. But they just barely beat Arizona last week. Then you look at their schedule: a lot of Jacksonville, Washington. They did beat Minnesota, who's 5-1. Detroit. That's the problem. And the same thing, by the way. I know we're going to get to them. New York Giants. This NFC East schedule the whole NFC schedule. I don't know. It's hard for me to buy that the Eagles are this good until I see them play a team like the Chiefs or the Bills, who seem just superior and more well-rounded. The Bills punter is the loneliest man in the NFL. They're so good on offense. And if Josh Allen's just going to give up on his body and run whenever he wants to, they're unstoppable, completely unstoppable.
And there's going to be times like yesterday where he's going to have to do that. Now, it's just when's the bill going to become due? Because it's going to at some point, because the NFL is so brutal. So when is the bill going to become due? I mean, it was Allen taking over yesterday. It really was at the end of the game. I mean, and they need him to do that, which is also something that's pretty scary. Like, to me, I see the Eagles and I'm like, it seems like on offense, even after Lane Johnson went out and the Cowboys got themselves into the game and made it actually a pretty entertaining game until like midway through the fourth quarter, you kind of realized it was over. But it was anything the Eagles wanted, they were able to do on offense, it felt like. They were able to put Micah Parsons and just completely neutralize him for like most of the game. I thought it was a really impressive performance by the Eagles, because I think the Cowboys are good. I still think they're good, and I still think their defense is really good. And for most of the game, the Eagles had their way.
Yep, good coaching job, no doubt about it. The job they did on Micah Parsons was great. But, yeah, I mean, you look at the odds. Let's go to DraftKings. Super Bowl odds, Buffalo Bills plus 275, Eagles are second at plus 550. It just feels like the much safer, in fact, we should bet on this today. The much safer bet to me is the Bills. The Eagles feel like they're going to be in the mix with all these sort of, I mean, that game was really close last night and they did not have Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Eagles are going to have a tough road, even though right now they feel superior. I don't feel like anyone's beaten Buffalo in the playoffs. And as you said last week, this is a big, big game for home field advantage.
Yep.
So you're going to have to go through Buffalo. That feels a little safer to me.
Listen, I would love to see the Eagles match up against somebody real, but find that real team in the NFC.
Like, that is the issue right there.
Who's the real team? I got the Packers losing at home yesterday to the Jets. I've got Tampa Bay losing as they were almost a double-digit favorite on the road against the Steelers. The Rams won yesterday, but right now, I mean, Georgia could beat the Carolina Panthers right now. I really believe that. I mean, they are so bad, and they are just careening towards the number one pick. They traded Robbie Anderson this morning after they kicked him out of the game yesterday. I mean, that team is an utter disaster. I don't know how much anyone wants to buy the Minnesota Vikings. Like the NFC, will the real NFC please stand up? And that's why I say it's different to have the team you think is the best in football versus the team you think is going to be in the Super Bowl.
Well, just remember, too, last year you had Buffalo and Kansas City were probably the two best teams in the NFL, and neither one of them was in the Super Bowl.
That's true.
I mean, the Rams are right there, too. So wild, weird stuff happens. Everyone kept saying during the telecast that the Bills and the Chiefs are going to meet again in the playoffs. How do you feel about that as a lifelong Bills fan?
Well, I mean, they're terrified and sleepless nights, because it's always going to be a coin flip. This is what happened too when the Bills played the Ravens. It was like, who's going to make a mistake? And it was Lamar Jackson who made the mistake on the 4th and goal that led to an interception. And now it was this week with Patrick Mahomes with the interception that ultimately seals it. And it's like, it's just who's going to make the mistake. That's how close all of these teams are. Did you get this sense yesterday? I'm starting to get this a little bit from the NFL. Anyone else tell me if they're feeling this too? Like, if you put Lane Johnson for your Philadelphia Eagles, Von Miller for my Buffalo Bills, just hermetically seal these guys and save them until the end of December.
Yep.
You realize how important they are. We're the non-quarterback guys who you know are going to be so influential if these teams are going to go anywhere. And I feel like for a few teams, it's like they're holding something back, or there's just not the urgency that we're used to seeing. Packers, Bucks, and maybe that's because these guys have been there before and they know this is a long season.
Yeah.
But it just feels like there is not an urgency. Everyone's like, long season, extra game, extra playoff spot, extra wild card spot, in the postseason, and there's just not a lot of urgency. Am I wrong there?
I don't know about that. I mean, I do feel the first part of what you said, there are certain teams that need certain players. Mm-hmm. The San Francisco 49ers, when Nick Bosa's on the lineup,
they are different.
They're a terrible team.
Yep.
I thought the Steelers would not win any games without TJ Watt. He feels like he is.
Fitzpatrick yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that they won that game. Kudos to Mike Tomlin. But you're right. There are certain players that you're going to need. Aaron Donald with the Rams is a big one, too. So, yeah, that's a good point, though. I can't tell. I've been of the mind that Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are just playing with their food, and they're going to eventually figure it out. I don't know anymore, Maggie. I don't know if they're holding back and they're going to show it all toward the end. I'm having trouble holding on to faith that the Packers and Bucs are going to turn around, for example, or the Rams. The old teams just do not look like they're anywhere near. Maybe you're right, and that they're going to come out of mothballs at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I don't feel it right now.
We have to talk about the Bucs. We have to talk about the Packers. Yeah. If you are a Packer fan right now, are you waking up like, is this life?
Yeah.
Do we just lose back-to-back weeks to the Giants and the Jets?
Yeah, and we still can't get a punt off, by the way, which is unbelievable to me.
I mean, the special teams. It was an issue last year. It's an issue this year.
Important show question.
Yeah.
For the Maggie and Perloff show. Okay, everyone knows you're a Buffalo Bills fan.
Yep.
I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Now, there are logistical things here. We have to plan our Super Bowl trip.
Well, we go there for work.
Do we go there for work?
Yes.
Do we go ahead and plan to stay till Monday? Or will that jinx our team?
No.
Wait, yes, you
no.
can't.
How dare you even say this? I feel like I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers on you. Don't even manifest something like that in a negative way.
Well, do we market the fact that you're a Bills fan and I'm an Eagles fan? It's like the odd couple. Look at the standings. The Bills are the number one seed in the AFC and the Eagles are the number one seed in the NFC. I feel like we've been given a gift here. Are we allowed to talk about this or do we just stay away?
See, this is what happens when your team has already won a Super Bowl. You bank this kind of stuff and you're able to come out with this sort of crazy optimism, energy. You got your Phillies are in the NLCS. Like, you're just brimming right now.
Trust me, I wanted to do a Phillies-Mets series, but only one team didn't collaborate.
Fine. But there's just, you're overflowing too much. You're over your skis here, man. We can't talk about the Super Bowl like that. It's week 6.
No. You are such a cup half empty person.
Yes,
I'm such a cup half full person. I think this is a unique opportunity. How many shows have an Eagles fan and a Bills fan? And what are the odds that we have
I don't know.
This is a frozen moment. I think both teams are on a bye this week, too.
Yeah, they are.
So this is something we have to take advantage of this 2 weeks. This is the NFL. One injury and this completely falls apart.
I know.
We have to say Maggie and Perloff, the show with the best 2 teams in the NFL. I think it should be our tagline for the next 2 weeks.
If they make it to the Super Bowl, we could be the official official radio show of the Super Bowl.
We get a ring or something. I don't know. I feel like this is a gift. We can't turn it down because you're afraid of optimism. Because
Super Bowl 57 champion Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Get Kyle Brandt out of here.
See, Kyle Brandt's got it right. Kyle Brandt is using this Bills momentum to his advantage to get clicks. That's what we should be doing.
I'm using it to make sure I don't have a coronary. I'm not doing this for clicks. I'm making sure I don't have a full-on meltdown and my hair doesn't fall out of my head.
Keep your expectations low so that you can never be disappointed.
Exactly.
Yes, but
that's what Spider-Man.
Might be a couple other places, but sure.
Don't you think as a show it would be cool to just sort of puff our chests out and say we got the 2 best teams?
If they make it there, we're not even there
No.
yet.
See, that's the thing.
If you don't ride it now and then they make it, you can't claim it when it happens.
I can't listen to Samter. He's drunk off Jets positivity.
No. Right.
You have no credibility today.
Yeah, I mean, Stu, you're not bringing anything with your Raiders, by the way.
You're 1-4, I don't know what to tell you.
Stu's still depressed in the corner.
That being said, I will do a side bet that the Raiders have more wins than the Jets at the end of the season. Let's go.
I'll take that.
But let's do it.
You could tell Samter any bet involving the Jets today. This is the day when we fleece Samter of all the money that he has. Every Jets bet today, you're like, I'm taking it.
Offensive and defensive rookies of the year. Let's do it. Money down. Let's go.
Yeah.
By the way, as much as I love
the
Philadelphia Eagles being 6-0, being in a city where the Jets and the Giants are winning is so obnoxious and sickening to my stomach. Every time I leave to hear about the positive football talk after everyone in the biggest city in the country left the sport of football for 5 years and pretended it didn't exist and followed the Yankees. And now all of a sudden it's Jets and Giants. Get out of here.
I mean, I want to hear from a Packer fan, not because I want your tears, not because I want to revel in your pain, not at all. I just want to know what kind of out-of-body experience you're having when a Jets rookie running back does the Lambeau leap. That you have to be incensed.
And a rookie defensive back wears a cheese head on the field.
Man, Sauce Gardner is going to be in Aaron Rodgers' nightmares. He was everywhere yesterday. Thank you for watching our video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this, just hit the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell.
Just hit the bell.